All right, shalom, everybody. Shalom. This is Deacon Kahleial with the King James Bible University, Shawnee, Kansas. And today's teaching is titled Addictive Tendencies, Pornography. My brothers and sisters, this will be a very serious topic and a pretty graphic that will be spoken about. And if you have very young ones, you see what's on the top right, parental advisory, explicit content based off some things that will be said in this teaching. This is a teaching that I had to get this out because this is something that is actual issue that many of us have been a part of and have done. But the same thing is there might be still people who are stuck or have issues with this very thing right here. This beast, this pornography. All right, so this teaching, once again, parental advisory is needed, and it's going to be a lot of things that will be said and stated, but I hope that somebody will be richly edified by this lesson. And there's going to be a lot of lessons that I'm going to be getting very, very personal with things that I have done, things that I have experienced and gone through. But these scriptures help us see the way that we should go, the way that we need to move. So we should always seek to hold to the word of God no matter what, following Jehovah and serving in spirit and in truth. So that being said, we'll begin this teaching. All right. So, pornography. Pornography's end goal is masturbation and self-satisfaction, a substitute for intimacy. Masturbation is a form of sex with yourself. People will serve themselves and practice self-centered behaviors. They look at people on sexual desires, and it is a perverted desire. So, looking at people, seeing what they could do with them, how they could do with them, what they can get into with them. When you're caught up in self-centeredness, you're always thinking about self. Oh, I want this, I want that, I need this, I need that. You're trying to do all these sorts of things. Masturbation is an addiction of self-centeredness and the end result of self-satisfaction. So when we looking and we understanding what's going on, so when we looking at scripture, we gonna focus on the heart because these are conditions of the heart. All right. So understanding the form of how everything is, when we looking at scripture, we're looking to be one with the spirit, and it's in themes in the scripture is showing two beings becoming one. So two becoming one. All right. So when we looking at intimacy, then it's always between those two that became one. It's not between three. It's not between four. It ain't between five. So it also isn't just one trying to have intimacy with themselves. That's not how that works. So masturbation ain't what we need to be doing. All right. I was exposed to pornography from a very young age, and it was something that plagued me for over 15 years. Pornography is a product of this world and something that is like a cancer. All right. Spreading this perversion in many places and warping one's perception of intimacy in relationships and also love. Pornography is something that afflicted me from a very, very extremely young age and immediately caused horrific side effects that warped and distorted my mind from my youth on up, from around ages 5 up to 21. And caused a domino effect of terrible things that ramped up over time. Pornography is a cop-out for one who desires intimacy, because the person who's sitting there looking at that and masturbating and all those things, they're having these fantasies, these imaginations of stuff that they wish that they could do. But they sitting there looking at these videos and these different things and masturbating to satisfy that lust that they have. So they'll view that filth, that content, and allow their imaginations to govern them. Those things that they imagine, those things that they want. Oh yeah, I like how she doing that. I like how they doing this. But it's all perversion and sickness. This is a strong lust of the flesh, and it consumes one, because when they feel that itch and they crave that intimacy, they're going to temporarily soothe that itch with the pornography and will masturbate. Pornography can become this foul addiction that will plague one's soul and cause one to feel empty. And just as an addiction, you need stronger and stronger doses to achieve the same effects that you felt at the first, meaning that it will become worse and more toxic to you as time goes on. Masturbation is nothing more than a replacement for intimacy. Intimacy is supposed to happen within a marriage between a husband and a wife. And masturbation is like self-intimacy, like one having sex with themselves, showing how this is a selfish action and it is still linked to fornication. And we're going to see these things as we go through. Why? Because this is a practice that we shouldn't be doing. Intimacy is between a husband and a wife, not between oneself. Pornography today is extremely widespread, and there are many who put this stuff out and engage with these things, sending nude photos on social media to entice others. People having these things on Snapchat and sending photos to one another and getting each other caught up in that lust. Females sending booty pics and pictures of their chests, pictures of them and videos of them doing stuff to themselves, and men doing the same thing, sending these things back and forth. Some go as far as to sell these images to others to make money, showing a straight up prostitute. This whoredom is common practice in this world, and it's like a raging disease. So we will begin here at 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 and 17. And it reads, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man, male or female, love the world, the love of the Father, the promise of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, including the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever." All these things, this pornography and that masturbation, that's tied to lust of the flesh. If you're sitting there searching up these things to satisfy yourself and practice masturbation, that's 100% sick. These things cannot be satisfied because that urge comes back. And this continual pursuit of pleasure, always looking to soothe that urge once it comes, will leave one empty. So no matter how many times you do it, it's not going to satisfy your soul. It won't. When these things happen, a person feels that empty feeling inside. They feel that disgust. They feel that, after they sit there and do these things. Why? Because that's not something that we should be doing. So when we look here now at Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 18 and 30, it reads, "Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thy appetites." Let's look. Appetite, hunger, desire, lust, is longing, this craving. So we look back. Go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thy lusts. Don't get caught up into these things. Being greedy, having this lust, having this craving. All right? Let's look at lust. Right there. Appetite, fornication, whoredom, concupiscence. We're going to see what this is later again, but we're going to look at it now. Concupiscence, inordinate affection, desire of the flesh. Time right back to lust. So these are things that we shouldn't be. We need to refrain from all that. We can't be going after these things. Okay. We can't be following these things. All right, because these things is gonna separate us and put us in a bad position. All right. From here, let's go to Philippians, chapter 3, verse 18. uh, 18 and 19. For many walk, okay, of whom I told you often, and now tell you even weeping. This is in italicized words. So the enemies of the suffering unto death of Christ, of the anointed way. So we supposed to be killing off this flesh and enduring until the end, but people is gonna be following these things. All these lusts, these works of the flesh, these are enemies. So, but people want to sit there and follow those things. They wanna live in agreement with those things. We can't do that. These things is gonna put us in a bad position. Whose end is destruction? Whose guide is their belly? What's that? Whose belly? It says whose guide is their belly. Metaphorical representation, innermost parts of what? Whose guide is their greed? Their heart. And we know the heart is desperately wicked. Their appetite. They're following emptiness. They're following these things. So we have to really consider what it is that we're doing. Whose end is destruction, whose guide is their belly, their appetite, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. So some people will be led by their own appetite, seeking to attempt to satisfy something that cannot be, because you can't satisfy an appetite. This is something that is a lust and will eat away at someone. Each time they want intimacy, they're going to run to porn and satisfy that urge temporarily through masturbation. So you could get that self-satisfaction. That lust come and kicks in. Oh yeah, let me go get this. Now you're going to go grab that lotion. You're going to be getting into all these things. You're going to be doing all this stuff. Grabbing an object. Females grabbing objects, doing these things. People touching themselves, doing all this sick stuff. Pornography is an extremely twisted perversion of intimacy. So we did these things are tied straight to lust, because these are things that we cannot sit there and be getting into. We should not be getting into these things. So from here we're gonna go to 1 Corinthians 7:2. It says, nevertheless, to avoid fornication, for these forbidden practices, let every man have his own wife. So we're gonna look at this. We're gonna look at this one way right here. Let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Okay. So this don't say nothing about wives, multiple. But we sit there and watch videos of various women doing these sick acts with various people, don't we? We're sitting there watching porn. You want to watch this one. You want to watch that one. And we sit there and lust strongly after these things. In today's time, you got people who worship adult film actresses, also known as porn stars, watching all that content and following them on social media and all these sick things. This has gotten even worse with OnlyFans. And now people is personally paying to watch that content. You have people who openly share who their favorite porn stars is. Hey, bro, you watch such and such. Man, you see how she be doing? Females be watching porn too. Be sitting there watching these types of content. They be watching that too. So this everybody be looking at that. Male and female. So it ain't just, oh yeah, dudes is watching. Nah, females watch porn too. And they have watched it. So this is all filth and a practice that shouldn't be happening whatsoever. You also have people lusting for these photos of others that they might see. Oh man, Cindy, man, oh man, shoot, Cindy, hey, can you send me a little something? Hey, I need you to take a picture from this angle for me. It's being sick. Lusting for these photos of others that they might see, and they want these pornographic images of these people, that so they can sit there and masturbate to it, worshiping that flesh, chasing that lust, I used to be in all that stuff, wanting to see that stuff and searching for it, doing all them sorts of things. Sitting there, females that I knew, trying to see them naked, trying to see them do some things, all this type of stuff. Going on watching these porn websites every day. Looking at porn every day. Getting into that stuff. Intimacy only happens, should happen within a marriage between a husband and a wife. And this husband and wife should both be seeking Jehovah. So it's not that they getting together just so they can call themselves having some fun. When you get married, they both need to be helping each other get right, helping each other in pursuit of the kingdom, so that they could dwell with Jehovah always. Not, oh, I'm gonna get married just so I could kick boots. Intimacy is supposed to happen within a marriage, and not one sitting there touching they dang self. That's for a male or a female, so it don't matter who it is. You ain't supposed to be sitting there touching on yourself like that's nasty. But this is what we sit there and do. From here, let's go to Matthew 5. Matthew chapter 5, verse 28. But I say unto you that whosoever look on a woman to lust after her, have already committed adultery with her already in his heart. What's that? It's clear. Adultery, fornication, idolatry, transgression, and sin in your heart doing this. So this is highly clear on what's happening. Those who sit there and do these things are committing these things in their heart. You committing fornication in your heart doing that. Why? You watching that video, you wish that was you. You watching that video, you wish you was experiencing that. That's sick. That is sick. Those who sit there and do these things is committing them things in their heart. And these things can't be in the heart. So one who would sit there and push these oh man, hey, you watch that porn star right there? Oh yeah, this video right here is some heat. Boy, I like how she was doing that. I like how she was moving on that. All this stuff. Sick. One who would push these things to you and encourage these things to you is a whore. They're going to sit there and speak about these lusts and what porn they like and all these things. People do this stuff. They do this in school. They share what porn stars they like watching, or speak on someone they find attractive and how they would do all these sexual acts with them. Oh man, yeah, you seen Rebecca, right? Boy, I have her on. I have her like this and that. Females do the same thing. They see a dude and talk about all the stuff they gonna do on that dude. They do that. Then they try to replicate the stuff they see in the porn. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get on him like that. That's what female be doing. Men do the same thing. They be watching these people do these acts, and now they want to sit there and replicate that with somebody in reality. That imagination, they try to make that happen now. Now they going from masturbating. Now they going to straight up fornicating. It's all forbidden practices. Getting in the bedroom, trying to do all these things, thinking they could do that. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna have her twisted up like this. I'm gonna do that. That's sick. But this is what we sit there and get into. So they speak about these lusts and what porn they like and all these things. They share what porn stars they like watching, or speak on someone they find attractive and how they would do all these sexual acts with them. Placing these sorts of imagery in the mind. So if we want to sit there and look at porn and get into masturbation, we still commit fornication in our heart. These forbidden practices. You lusting after that flesh. You idolize that flesh. So when we flip this, we can't lust after another spirit. That's going to get you in. We can't lust after another spirit. And a spirit that's going to get you into the lust of the flesh is going to separate you from God. Why? Because you sitting there looking at the ways of this other spirit. You looking at, oh yeah. They sitting there telling you about how you could get into this, how you can get into that. Oh yeah. You could do this, you could do that, get all that. And now you sitting there following that. No one should be getting wrapped up in the pornography and these practices, because a horror spirit is going to pull you into that. Telling you how you could do these things, telling you about this content, telling you about how you could do all this stuff, getting you to touch yourself. So we shouldn't sit there and be lusting after no flesh, no matter if you a male or a female. And none of us should sit there and lust after another spirit, a spirit that you know is going to pull you away from the Most High. And that spirit could be in a male or a female, trying to pull you into that way of whoredom. We already had a teacher come out, desires of whoredom. You don't want to follow no other spirit that's going to pull you away from the Most High. So we can't be getting caught up into that. So nobody should be getting caught up in the pornography and these practices. Because if we enjoy how those things look to us, oh yeah, I like this, I like that. Then you operating in another spirit. Why? You looking at all this whoredom. You looking at this lust of the flesh. You jiving with another spirit that like that. You like how that looked to you. You like how that seemed to you. That's jiving with you. Why? We committing forbidden practices in our hearts. Having that idolatry there. All because we want to follow another spirit. Physically, you looking at this woman and you want to get with her. Women shouldn't be looking at no man and wanting this man to have them all in these type of positions. They shouldn't be doing that neither. So none of us should be following another spirit. So the same thing is this. You see spirits operating inside of a person. Wow. You can see their works. You can see their deeds. You can see the actions that they doing. So you can see the effects of that spirit in that person. And this individual is coming to you with this whoredom, and you seeing what they bringing. Oh, it's coming closer now. Hey, bro. Look at, hey, man, yeah. I watched this one video and this, that, and the third. Now they bringing this to you and you like that? You lusting after that? Are you serious? Hey, girl, hey, you. Females talking about they got that, they got like a rose toy or something like that. Hey, girl, that thing do the trick. Getting you to masturbate. Oh, this do it better than a man can. Getting you to masturbate. And that's what you seeing, that spirit is in that person working like that. You see the effects of the spirit in this individual with the works that they doing, and you want to do that. You see the effects of that spirit, that's what you want. You looking at that, oh yeah, I like that work. I'm going to take that work. I'm going to do that. What? And that's in your heart. Come on now. We can't be getting into that. So yeah, you can't physically see a spirit, but you see the effects of it. You see what it's doing. You see the works. And you desiring that. That don't make no sense, y'all. But this is stuff that a lot of us have sat there and done. Somebody gonna tell us to watch this, we gonna watch it. We gonna get into this, we gonna get into that. But then even physically, we looking at somebody. Oh, they look good. Oh man. Now you sitting there thinking about how you could do these things with them, and you could get with them and do this stuff. We can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. Let's go to Sirach. Let's go to Sirach chapter 9, verse 8. Let's look at A through C. A through C. Turn away thine eye, thine understanding from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. Look at that. The beauty of a spirit. By her way. When we just saying this earlier, you lusting after another way. I want to get into this. I want to. Her way, her law, her doctrines. These doctrines. This understanding that's coming from this other spirit. Turn away thy understanding from a beautiful spirit, and look not upon another's beauty, upon another's way. For many have been deceived by the way of a spirit. Pulling you in these other directions. Pulling you in these other ways of doing things. Getting you to satisfy that flesh. Get that urge satisfied. Do these things. That's sick. Sirach 25:21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. So looking at it two ways. We shouldn't be sitting there, one, looking at folks, looking at female, oh man, look at, man, hey, man. But then when you watch your porn, you sitting there looking for videos of females that look attractive to you. They got all this surgery done on their body. That's not even how they really built. And you looking at them and you want that. Women looking at these videos of these dudes. Got all these enhancements and all these things. Oh, I want that. I want that. This is what males and females be getting into. They looking at flesh that they deem to be fitting for them. And how they want that all up on them. It's sick. So man, we shouldn't be sitting there just staring, looking, getting caught up in all that stuff just because it look good. That ain't good. That's a hoe. That is a hoe. You watching these females do all these things and you wish that was you? It's nasty. So on one side, we should never sit there and get caught up based on the appearance of another. And people think another person is so fine. And they start imagining themselves having sex with that person. Having that porn in their mind. Having these images in their mind. These imaginations of these acts. Should nobody be doing that. You still looking on that person to lust after them. That sort of spirit to do them things is jiving with you. You lusting after that way. You looking at the way of that spirit. How they moving. Oh, I like that. Let me do that. What? Thinking somebody look nice is one thing. Oh yeah, oh man, she pretty, she gorgeous. But then you gonna sit there and you starting to meditate over her now. Man, what if I can? What? Females looking at dudes talking about he tall, dark, and handsome. Talking about they like some chocolate. All these things. Looking at this flat. I wish I could. What? So simply thinking somebody looks nice is one thing. Lusting after them is a whole other thing. We shouldn't be doing that. Some people still want to be selfish and get with another solely because they want to satisfy something that they want. If one wants intimacy, they need to get married. But the focus, if one wants to get married, we need to be helping one another get into the kingdom. Supporting one another. Encouraging one another to seek Jehovah. To always put his way first. To walk in the spirit. To kill this flesh. Seeking Jehovah in unison and working in one body. Not sitting there, man, I'm just trying to have me some sex. Because then you going to have to deal with whatever that spirit gonna bring to you. They want to bring all this confusion. They want to bring all this negative stuff to you. Why? All you want to do is have sex. That's all you was worried about anyway. You weren't worried about nothing else. You getting married just so you can have sex. just because you want to have sex, not because they can help me get into the kingdom, not because you actually love and care about them, not because you want to do well by this person. Nah, hey, she look good. I'm gonna hook up with her. We gonna do this. We get caught up in the outward appearance of things, then neglect to look at the deeper things. Neglect to look deeper than what our eyes can see. And then we chase a lust and try to fill an appetite that can't be satisfied. This is all stupidity that we get into. All just so you can get one off. We shouldn't be committing forbidden practices in our hearts or outwardly doing these things. We shouldn't be having, this thing shouldn't be in us, and we shouldn't be sitting there doing these works. And if we see another doing these works, why are you going to lust after that? That's a spirit working in somebody, and you lusting after that. A spirit that's operating contrary to the Most High, and you lusting after that way. You seeing what they doing. That's what you want. So we need to look at what we be doing. We need to look at what's going on. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 3 through 5. For this is the will of God, even your sanctification, that you should abstain from fornication, from forbidden practices, that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor. Not sitting there masturbating, touching yourself. Not in the lust of concupiscence. Let's look at that lust of concupiscence. Lust. Not in the whoredom. He said lust of concupiscence. So not in the whoredom. Desire of flesh. Inordinate affection. So not in the whoredom of desire of flesh. Desire of the flesh. Even as the Gentiles, the heathens, which know not God. So we shouldn't be sitting there getting into these things. Oh, I like that. I like that. I want to get into that. Now you sitting there doing all these things. You got women buying toys to sit there and do these things to themselves. You got men doing the same thing. You got men getting virtual reality headsets so they can feel like they having sex. Getting these visuals. Because men is visual. Getting these visuals. Or they porn star that they like to watch. That idol, that's an idol to them. They want to sit there and do something with that individual so bad. They going to sit there and get this headset and watch another man's body get into this act with somebody else. That's disgusting. Guess what I used to sit there and be doing? This is real. This is exactly what be happening. Let's go to Ephesians. Chapter 4, 17 through 19. This I say for that reason to testify in the Lord, the Creator, that you henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind. Vanity of their mind. Having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of God through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their heart. Who being past feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness. So we need to understand clear. We can't be walking in the vanity of our minds, walking in these thoughts. doing all these things. We need to surrender over to Jehovah. He is our strength, and we have to sincerely remove ourselves from those lusts and attachments, ensuring that we mortify these members. And if we can't contain, and intimacy is something that we want, it's better to be married at that point. But you need to be getting married and making sure that your desire is for y'all to both put in this work together so that y'all will have a shot of getting in. Pornography is perversion, and is something that erodes the mind and causes one to develop these sick fantasies and imaginations that they then pursue. Then they either will fulfill that lust through masturbation, or they will seek fornication. These are not things that we should be getting into, and that addiction will cause you to fall into a deep state of darkness. These imaginations are not pleasing to Jehovah at all. So that lasciviousness, that's not something that we need to be getting into. When we look here, let's now look at Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Genesis 6:12. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. This is this type of stuff, because you can see all this perversion everywhere. Porn is prevalent. All these sick things is prevalent everywhere. It's everywhere. Lust of the flesh. Lust of all these things. It's disgusting. Let's go to Romans. Chapter 1. Verse 24 through 28. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Why? You want to sit there and get into that filth, then you gonna get that filth. Ain't we supposed to be sitting there abstaining from fornication? Shouldn't we know how to possess our vessel in sanctification and honor, not in the lust of concupiscence? But if we want to sit there and do these things, okay. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Why? Because you want to get with some flesh that bad. You're going to sit there and touch yourself. Sit there and start playing with yourself. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burning in their lust one toward another, men with the men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient. Now you sitting there just being a 100% whore, disgusting, doing all these things, touching yourself, you sitting there, now you fornicate, you getting into all these things just so you can satisfy yourself sexually, or whatever you can get into. This is the situation that we put ourselves in. We have no excuse for any of the actions that are taken, that are contrary We have no excuse for any of the actions that are taken that are contrary. We have no excuse for what we have sat there and did. So this is entirely our own fault. We start watching porn and get addicted to that sensation, all the soothing appetite. You can sit there and watch a video and immediately get disgusted with yourself afterwards, after you sit there and finish. But it doesn't change the fact that you find some type of enjoyment for it. Because why? Or do you have to actually sit there and select what you want to watch, don't you? And you make the decision what it is that you want to see. So just like any addiction, you want to amp up the dose so that you can satisfy that itch you have. You start looking at more disgusting things on the internet, and it is something that gets worse and worse. Looking at videos of anything at a certain point, or searching things up to feed your sick curiosity. All these things start to happen. Now you watching worse and worse things. Why? Oh, you're not getting that masturbation ain't satisfying you like it used to. Oh, now you're trying to watch something else. You're trying to see something else. This is what happens. See, I had some sick things happen to me when I was a child, and these things added to the disease that I had taken hold of. I've sat there and I've done these things. And what I'm about to say, actually, it's not an uncommon thing that happens with men. You sit there and you watch these videos, and you sit there and you get into these things, watching these things, and then it just gets worse and worse, needing something stronger, needing something worse. And many will not admit what I'm about to admit right now. Getting to the point where you're starting to look at homosexual content. Men calling themselves transgenders and believing they can operate as a dang female. 100% abomination. The actual reality of the situation, that's not even uncommon. People watching porn, they start looking at that transgender stuff. That's the reality of the situation. That's how bad a porn addiction is. Men secretly watching this abomination take place and masturbating to it. It ain't no different than a crackhead needing a stronger dose to get the same high. You sit there and watch worse and worse stuff to reach that same climax point. Pornography is a pit of despair, and it's disgusting. And that's what that is. And we can even get this illustration right here in Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 10 to show what it is clear. Ecclesiastes 5 and 10. A, section A. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver. Silver spiritually talking about women. He that loveth women shall not be satisfied with women. Sitting there watching one after the other. You need a strong hit just as a drug fiend. And then you keep upping that dose. And then you get into worse and worse things. And you sit there and try to hide it. Going somewhere in private and looking at all that defilement and enjoying it. Then you feel that deep emptiness afterwards. All the sick condition of the mind and sitting there addicted to that high you get temporarily at the end. Sick. Sick. You're watching one female, watching another female. Now you're looking at a man that had surgery to look like a female, and now you watching him. Still watching a man, still looking at homosexuality. Still disgusting. An abomination. This is what happens. That's what I used to sit there and be doing. And I'm going to continue to talk about stuff that I was doing. Why? Because it's somebody who did the same thing. Some people here who did the same thing. I just admit it. It is what it is. That's who I used to be. I don't have not one inkling of a desire to go back to any of that stuff. The word of God is powerful, perfect, and is able to remove one from such a horrible place. We don't have no excuse. We don't. Let's look at Deuteronomy 23 and 17. Because the one thing is, we want to sit there and indulge in this. It's disgusting. There shall be no whore of the daughters, the offsprings of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons, the servants of Israel. Can't be no whore, can't be no sodomite. Some females also. Heard some females sit there and say they themselves don't even find themselves wanting to do something like that no ways. They just found well, she's pretty, so I tried to do this and all that. Porn is that bad. This stuff is sick. It is sick. It's ill. So it's about to get graphic. It's kind of already been graphic, but we about to just keep going. Leviticus 18, we gonna go down in 18 for a good minute. We gonna go down in 18 for a good minute. Let me see how far I went. And I'm gonna tell y'all what to put here. Let me see. Leviticus 18. Let me look. All right, we're gonna go to Leviticus chapter 18. Verses 5 all the way down to verse 23. We're going to look at some things. 5 down to 23. Leviticus 18, 5 down to 23. You shall for that reason keep my statutes and my doctrines and teachings, which if a male or female shall do, which providing a male or female do, he shall live in them. I am the Spirit of God. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am the Spirit of God. Look at this. Hold on. Let me get up here. So what we about to see, we don't got to pull up nothing to show no images or anything. We can see the types of content and things that they have in porn videos, because the porn industry 100% encourages and condones absolute perversion. You have those that watch that content and encourage that behavior and speak about what they enjoy. It's disgusting. All of these things will leave one spiritually empty, devoid of knowledge and understanding, and ensnared in carnal allures of the flesh. So, let me see. It says, the nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother shalt thou not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife thou shalt not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. You know how many people make videos of this stuff? You got actors that act this stuff. Sitting there talking about some, laying down with my father's wife, or she was hitting on me. All these sick fantasies, these sick things. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. The nakedness of thy son's daughter, or of thy daughter's daughter, even their nakedness shalt thou not uncover, for theirs is thine own nakedness. People do these things. The nakedness of thy father's wife, thy father's wife's daughter, begotten of thy father, she is thy sister. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. People sitting there doing things with half siblings. All this. This would be happening. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister. She is thy father's near kinswoman. People be doing this. Whether they be acting it out or it be them actually doing it. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister. For she is thy mother's near kinswoman. People be doing this. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thou shalt not approach to his wife. So thy father's brother's wife, she is thine aunt. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law. She is thy son's wife. People sit there and do this. What is the whole point of what I'm showing? They make porn of this stuff. And they market this stuff. All this content you can sit there and find within pornography, whether it be real or they acting it out as if this is what they're doing. It's all there. Whether even then they'll draw pictures. They have animated, drawn porn. They can have this in a book, have it in a video. It's there. They make this stuff. They push this stuff. They push these fantasies. They push these imaginations. They push this sickness. And people sit there and eat it up. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife. It is thy brother's nakedness. People having these sick fantasies to do these things. Oh, I'm the better one. Oh, come with me. Yes, this, that, and the third. Committing adultery. Doing these sick practices. Watching these sick videos. This is what happens. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. They make videos of this stuff. They act out this stuff. Neither shalt thou take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness, for they are her near kinswoman. It is wickedness. Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness beside the other in her lifetime. Oh yeah, I got her and the sister. People sit there, make songs about it, and they sit there and make videos about it, and people watch it and masturbate to it. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife, to defile thyself with her. People sit there and, that's adultery. People sit there and do this, laying down with other people's wives, laying down with women when they having they monthlies. People be doing that stuff. I actually skipped 21. I skipped 21 and went to 22 and 23. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as compared to let me see. Thou shalt not lie with mankind comparing with womankind. It is abomination. We already spoke on that. They make videos of this. You got men pretending to be women. They getting these surgeries to appear exactly like a woman. It don't matter if they sitting there modifying pieces or nothing. It's still a man. People make these videos. People be watching it. They be masturbating to it. Making all these sick animated videos, all these things of this. It's sick. It's an abomination. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down there too. It is confusion. People make videos of this. All these things people do, all these things people have made content on in some way or another. It is all perversion, it is all sickness, and it is all confusion. All of this is whoredom, and we should not have any desires of whoredom. These are forbidden practices, and those that lust after these things or watch the content that has it in it so that you can sit there and masturbate. You should not, this is stuff you should not do. It's all sick. And you sitting there lusting after it, you got that in your heart. You got that in your heart. done sat here, been in many foul places. Some people might not admit it. Some people did the same thing. It is what it is. 1 Corinthians 6 and 18 through 20. That is who I used to be. Straight up. 1 Corinthians 6, 18, 19 through 20. Flee fornication. Flee forbidden practices. Every sin that a man, male or female, doeth is without the body, but he that committed fornication sinneth against his own body. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which you have of God, and you are not your own, for you are bought with a price. For that reason, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. You don't belong to you. Why are you sitting there doing this? Why are you touching yourself? So these things and these practices, we need to flee from these things. Pornography and masturbation ain't the way to go, so we need to turn to Jehovah for help because our own ability isn't enough. We need a total separation from flesh and abide in the spirit. That's what we need to be doing. Not sitting there watching this filth, getting into this stuff, and touching ourselves. We don't do that. I don't care if you're a male or a female. You don't sit there and do that. It's nasty. Psalms 121, 1 through 8. We need his help. I will lift up my understanding, my eyes unto the hills from which cometh my help. My help cometh from the Spirit of God, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot, thy desire to be moved, because we need to always desire him. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Remember, behold, he that keepeth Jehovah's servants, Israel, shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Spirit of God is thy keeper. The Spirit of God is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Spirit of God shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Spirit of God shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. We need his help. We need his strength. Our own strength isn't enough to deal with these things. We need to have faith and reliance in Jehovah to get us through these things. His strength is enough. Because I know personally, when I was wrapped up in all these things, I didn't have strength to stop doing it. And it was only the word of God that separated me from those things. My own strength was nothing. I couldn't shake from that stuff, and I was watching abominable things, sitting there masturbating to it. I was miserable, and I hated myself. And the things I've sat there and done are horrendous, but it's only the word that freed me from that bondage to flesh. So we have no excuse to continue to watch porn and masturbate and to have them sick desires. We need to turn to him. We need to get off of that. Many of us have done this. John 15, 5 and 6. Jehovah says, I am the vine, you are the branches. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit, much work. For without me, you can do nothing. We can't do nothing without him. All we gonna produce is works of the flesh. We need to be with him, resting in Christ. Because without him, how could we produce good fruit? If a man, male or female, abide not in me, he is cast forth he is cast forth comparing a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. So this is clear. We can't, without him, we could do nothing. So we need to be in the word no matter what. And separation from the flesh is essential in this journey to move forward and to overcome these snares of the world. So we need to look and ask for this. Ask for this here in Sirach 23, 5 and 6. Turn away from me vain hopes and concupiscences. We already saw what that concupiscence was. Desire of the flesh. Turn away from me vain hopes. Vain desire. Look at this. Empty. Worthless. Void. Hope. Desire. Hopes, desires, worthless, empty desires, and concupiscences. We're going to look at it again. Tying you to lust. Tying you to that greed, that fornication. It's whoredom. Let's go straight to it. Desire of the flesh, inordinate affection. Tying you back to lust again. Tying you to lasciviousness. We seen it. Lasciviousness. And thou shalt hold him up that is always desirous to and thou shalt hold him up that is desirous always to serve thee. Let not the greediness of the belly, of the appetite, nor the lust of the flesh take hold of me, and give not over me thy servant into an impudent mind. We don't want that impudent mind. We know impudent means hard. We know mind ties to heart. We don't want a hardened heart. We don't want a hard heart. That impudent mind. Because then we won't have the means to be free. We absolutely need the Spirit of God to help us. But if we want to think we got everything figured out and we good and all this and all that, then we put ourselves in a bad position. Oh, hey, I got this. Yeah. Okay. So we need to consider what's going on. And real quick, I'll show it. I'm going to show that impudent real quick. I'm going to show both of these. I show it just so you can see what was being said. Impudent, hard. Shameless, presumptuous, contemptuous. So impudent, tying you to hard. Mind. Heart. So we seeing how impudent is tying you to hard and mind once again. Tying you back to the heart. So these things are clear. So we need to understand. Let's go to Proverbs 6:20 through 25. As we're getting close to winding this down. My son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother. We need to keep the father's commandment and forsake not the law of our mother. All right. So my son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thine heart and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life, to keep thee from the evil woman, the evil spirit, from the flattery of the tongue, these cultural practices of a strange spirit, of a other spirit. Lust not after her beauty, after her way, in thine heart. Neither let her take thee with her eyelids. The commandment is a lamp. It's a path. And we need to follow that path faithfully and not depart from it. The law is light. It's understanding, truth, and wisdom. And we need those reproof, those exhortation, the counsel, the guidance of instruction, the precept. This is the life. So we need to keep these commandments and precepts because these guide us on the journey. And these give us understanding. These keep us away from the evil spirit. these deceptive cultural practices of a other spirit. These other spirits we need to stay away from and stay with the Spirit of God. We should not lust after her beauty, her law, her customs, and ways. We should not want that stuff at all, because those is going to pull us into a false way and a way of destruction. We cannot let another spirit take us with their veil to blind us, and then we get separated from truth. We cannot afford it. So we need to kill this flesh and stay in the ways of Jehovah, following his instructions and being separated from these evil devices of the world. We can look at how dangerous following lust is by observing what happened when David followed lust. So we can see, because following lust ain't going to lead us nowhere we need to be going. Following lust ain't going to take us nowhere we want to go. Sitting there seeking to satisfy something. 2 Samuel 11. Two through 4. And 5. 2 through 5. And it came to pass in eventide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her. And she came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness. And she returned unto her house. And David conceived. And the woman conceived, and went and sent and told David, and said, I am with child. So we see how David saw Bathsheba, and he was moving in lust, and he had sent messengers to get her, and then David and Bathsheba did this act together. So when we look at pornography, David had to take a couple steps to get at Bathsheba, but pornography is dangerous because how easy it is to get a hold of it. It's less steps getting into that. All you need is an internet connection and a device to play the video the video that you want to sit there and look at. And it takes way less steps to please that lust, and it's disgusting in every way. We know in this story that David tried to pin the child on Uriah, and then it got worse and worse with what was happening. That David got caught up and had to pay for what he did. With pornography, you go in a private area and do this forbidden practice, and then go about your business feeling disgusted at yourself. But the issue with addiction is that you always need a stronger fix to temporarily soothe that urge. So then you start doing things in risky areas and in situations, and that perverseness spreads within like a cancer. It gets worse and worse. Masturbation and pornography is widely accepted in the world and is even encouraged by some. Treated as a pastime activity to be done in moderation, it's still a forbidden practice. So we need to abandon those ways of doing things because they are all unprofitable and vain. And these things are things we should not have any pleasure in. So we have to always remember these things that are going on. So let's go to Sirach 19:5. As we begin, like I say, we winding down. We don't got too much longer. Whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned. But, however, he that resisteth pleasures crowneth his life. Hebrews 11:25. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. So just because everybody else getting into all these things, there ain't no reason for us to be getting wrapped up with that. Sirach 9 and 12. Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in. That's a full thought. But remember, they shall not go unpunished under their grave. This is clear. So all those sick things are temporary, but will lead you to eternal pain if you hold to that filth. People will call you all types of stuff because you don't want to hold to that. You don't want anything to do with that. They might feel as if, oh, you're better than them because you don't indulge in it, and they want to sit there and talk bad about you because you ain't into it. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, well, who does he think he is? Oh, he must think his mind is better or what? All these different things. Oh, you must be a virgin. You must be all these things. So we need to get through this journey and hold to Jehovah no matter what. Now we're going to look at Psalms chapter 5, verse 1 through 5. Let me plug this up real quick. Let me fix that. Boom. Give ear to my words, O Spirit of God. Consider my meditation. Hearken unto the voice of my cry, my King and my guide. For unto thee will I pray. My voice shalt thou hear in the morning, O Spirit of God. In the morning will I direct my prayer unto thee, and will look up. For thou art in your perfection of beauty. Thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. 5. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Psalms 141. 141 and 4. Incline not my heart to any evil thing, to practice wicked works with men that work iniquity, and let me not learn of their dainties. So we need to always rely on Christ, our shepherd and guide, the Holy One of Israel, to lead us and guide us out of darkness. We need to put to death this flesh and separate from these worldly attachments and ways and turn to do the works meet for repentance. We have to acknowledge the things that we've done and turn from them sincerely. From here, we're going to the last verses of the teaching. Let's see here. Let's go to Romans chapter 12. 1 and 2. I beseech you for that reason, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living, established covenant, separated, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Colossians chapter 3, verse 5 through 7. Mortify for that reason your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. For which things sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience, in which you also walked sometime when you lived in them. Walked? We was following these things. Followed. We was faithful to these things, in which you also followed sometime when you lived in them. Last two verses, Ephesians 4, 22, 23. that you put off concerning the former conversation, behavior, conduct, manner of life, walk, lifestyle. Conversation, these thoughts and beliefs. The old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. That's a full thought. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind. So my brothers and sisters, this has been Deacon Kahleial. And I say unto each and every last one of you, shalom.